It's a trucking, transportation, and lifestyle show like none other.
Man, you call this a life?
Road Gang Radio is back for another half hour of the best transpo show in the known universe.
We come in peace. Well, actually, we're falling to pieces.
Let's see if we can achieve liftoff, Phone Master Dre.
Woo! We are lifting off in that final live hour of Road Gang Radio with your hosts, Jimmy Mack and Lindsay Lawler, live from Fastport Studios.
Well, Here we are. Fastport Studios over there and the Acrisure Studios over here.
Yes!
And I think those are people that need to meet each other, by the way. I think Acrisure and Fastport need to know each other and do some dreaming and scheming. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Making friends over here.
People are getting together all over the place. And by the way, it ties in beautifully to what's next here, by the way. We got a chance to talk to Keith yesterday, but in the short form, didn't get a chance to dig in as much as we would like because, after all, Nemo Nation is here today, gone tomorrow. Bing, bang, bing, bang, boom. Just moving along. Keith Whann, by the way, is the founder and CEO of the Whann Group. He's an attorney, an entrepreneur. He's a tech innovator. His career is actually 4 decades across law, business, and software development. He's the author of the GTE Guard Warranty Portfolio. And for the purposes of this particular conversation, he is the creator of the Truck On mobile app and the developer of BizTech Technology Platform, and a friend, a genuine friend who has always been incredibly kind to us when we go places, a great conversationalist, and an all-around good dude. And Lindsay, tell Keith Whann good morning.
Keith Whann, good morning. Nice to make your acquaintance and be your new friend. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's truck on, shall we?
Let's do that, Lindsay. And, I tell you, I really thought Jimmy and I were close friends, but with that intro, he made me sound old. I'm going to go with just experienced. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Come on,
Just be my friend. Just be my friend. Don't worry about him. You and me. You and me.
He's an archive friend.
Gotcha.
He's a friend that goes into the archives. We actually can pull out a lot of stuff and information on Keith as he joins us this morning.
Experienced. Wise and experienced.
Yeah.
How about that?
Thank you very much.
Yes,
We
yes.
will go with that. We got a chance to kind of do it quickly, kind of bing, bang, boom, boom kind of yesterday, but I kind of wanted to give you a chance to do a little bit more breathing into this, to talk really about the app, but just the idea of the need that so many truckers have. It's not just an app situation, it's kind of a lifestyle thing too. There's so many different separate things that truckers, and many of whom run their own businesses, sometimes more than one business, need. And what you're trying to do here is turn a mobile phone into a mobile office. And I would love you to unpack that again for us. Then we got a whole bunch of fun stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah, Jimmy, you hit the nail on the head. I've been blessed, all kidding aside, to have a very long career that started years ago as an assistant attorney general in the consumer protection section of the Ohio Attorney General's office. And you kind of get a different viewpoint when you got a law degree and you're in business and you're doing these things. And when I segued into technology and wound up in commercial trucking, the first thing that strikes you is how dependent we are as a country on this supply chain backbone and the lifestyle of these men and women that are, in particular, over-the-road truckers. And I know today you talk trucking and you got everything down to the people doing last mile that are, delivering packages to your home, think they're truckers, right? But for most of what we're talking here, it's the over-the-road, the people doing the long hauls, and they're operating businesses. People don't realize that they see some of these big trucking companies that many of the folks driving for them, they're owner-operators who are leased on. They're running their own business. That's their truck. And they have a huge financial investment in, think of being on the road, going cross-country and trying to run a business. And everything today is mobile. We're using the cloud. We're using technology. And I just thought there had to be a better way, an easier way to simplify it. There are many folks that have a product or service, do something really well, and they build an app or a platform or a portal for it. But these truckers are on the road trying to go to umpteen different places. And I thought, what if we just did the right thing and I built something that's free out there that aggregated it all? And then I'm going to segue to what we're blessed to be doing now. These folks are on the road. They got a lot of downtime. They need entertainment. What a better thing than to take Radio Nemo and start streaming it through the app for them, which we're really proud to be, launching that today. It's a cool thing.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you know what's interesting about this, Keith, is you know as well as anybody that truck drivers are, especially the guys have and men and women who've been doing it for so long, are kind of like more I don't technology, and we used to how it used to work, etc. But what you're doing, even though it is technology, but you're putting it all in one place, as opposed to being like, here's 19 gadgets that you need. You're with your app, it seems to me that everything they could ever need is all in one place. So what are some of the tasks that drivers usually struggle with, that you hear on a daily basis that they struggle with, that Truck-On is making easier for them, specific task wise?
Well, let's start with two things. Great lead in for me. Thank you. There's two things. It's keeping the trucker in the truck and the truck on the road. So that's key. So that trucker has to be in the truck driving. It's got to be on the road. So the first thing, keeping the truck on the road. What are the things that go with that? We've brought stuff in there like the new CTE Guard warranty. We've got integrations with diesel laptops for the decoder tool. Casper for truck, being able to disinfect technology for the truck. We've got a stop fire product. All this, you just click on the buttons and go where you need to do. If you're in there on the health side, if you're older, are you looking for a Medicare supplement or Advantage? Do you need health insurance, vision and dental? Do you need your drug tests, prescription discounts? We've got some stuff in here for digital health for truckers and being able to do that on the road. If it's for your business, everyone needs financing and money. So we've got some links and applications for warranty financing or line of credit or truck insurance or accounting. We're talking to some national people that are legal networks. Are you doing you need a US DOT number application? Do you need training? So we've just tried to take the best of the best that's out there and people that do all these things for a living every day and bring them to one place so a trucker can open the app, push on a link or button, and go right to what they need seamlessly without having to open 15 apps and worrying about all that stuff and logins.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, that we talked about. It's, in some ways we made the case that it's the app to eliminate the apps. I mean, that's one of the great things about
why have 20 apps when you can have one?
When you can have one, and
Truck-On.
And that's exactly it, Lindsay. That's exactly no, but I mean, that's a really kind of great point. Is that it what it does is it's almost like an office organizer in the same way that you turn you turn their mobility into a mobile office, you turn their mobile phone into a mobile office, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I know where to go to get this stuff, as opposed to wait, which app is that? What am I pushing? What am I pressing? And it's like it is access. It is the ability to be much like Radio Nemo is in regards to a media platform, the ability to be everywhere all at once. Correct?
Jimmy, exactly. I'm going to tweak one thing you said when we talk about eliminating the apps. We're not trying to eliminate someone's app. We're eliminating the need to have to download all these apps and go there. There's great apps. I'm here at Women in Trucking, as you know, and I met some ladies at breakfast this morning, and they're doing something, Truckers Against Trafficking. And they've got a great app and some stuff, and we talked about it. I said, well, tell you what, love the cause, love what you're doing. We'll just put the link right in here. I'll launch your app through our app. So if people have great apps or they've got a great portal, whatever it is, we want them to keep developing, do what you do best. We're going to create the pathway so that the trucker can get to everything through one spot. So keep building great apps and portals and products, and we're going to give them the Everything app to be able to access it all in one place. Make it easy.
Boom, making it easy. This is what we like. Okay, so here's the other thing. Most truckers, there's a lot of people that would like to become an owner operator, but that sort of the idea of that is daunting. And so, what are some of the things here that you're able to do that streamlines, maybe giving somebody the support to make that leap if that's something they're interested in? How can Truck-On support people stepping into the owner operator world?
Well, okay, again, great question with it. First and foremost, this is ever expanding and growing. So we hear things that truckers are looking for and need, and we're constantly adding it to the app. By the way, I want you to know I've got people, Jimmy, that are pinging me right now saying that they are online listening to this particular show right now through the app. So
Yay,
we're
hi
actually
there,
live and
you.
people are listening, so they're listening today. If you were to go into the toolbox, and this is, again, we don't call it education and training because as people get older, they don't need to learn, right? But they do need to learn. So we call it the toolbox section. And in there, we have presentations, videos, articles, guides, recordings, and now Radio Nemo. So you can get your entertainment or information there, but you're asking about what do you learn there? Well, in there, we've got a business guide for self-employed truck drivers. We've got an article, you sign the contract, but do you know what it said to help you with contracts? If you go to the guide section, what do you need to know about DOT medical cards? Tips on helping you pass a DOT physical. The quick start guide for a trucker becoming an owner-operator. The owner-operator's guide to incorporation. Trucker CFO's got a comprehensive business guide in there and a guide to tax season. So all of the things that you need, or as I hear people say, well, we need this, or we'd like to have access to this, that we look for that type of information or that resource and we bring it in. So it really is a great thing if you're looking to start to be able to do some research and get some tips on these are the things to put yourself in place and to make sure that you're in a position to start a business. And do I have then the right capital and do I have the right entity and all the things you would go through and do that could be daunting, that you don't have to pay money. We've got people that are experts in that, putting articles and information and videos in, and you can learn how you learn. If you want to watch a presentation or a video or read an article, you can do that in the privacy of your truck or home or whatever, and learn at your own pace and get the confidence and make the decision. Yeah, I can make the leap to become an owner-operator.
Let me follow up here really quickly also to ask this, because intuitiveness is also really, really important. And by the way, I'm setting you up here. I hope you know I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm actually setting you up. Intuitiveness, being able to kind of navigate these things. A lot of people, we were laughing about this a couple of weeks ago, the idea that when people play video games or people actually get a new piece of equipment, there's nothing better than actually feeling like they can figure it out in an awful hurry and get down to enjoying what they've actually got, as opposed to being like, okay, will I be tested on this later? Talk about how easy this sucker is to use. Just kind of breathe into that idea a little bit.
Well, it has to be easy. And people, I look at what I like to use. I mean, I hearken back, Jimmy, to a comment that Steve Jobs made years ago that resonated with me. And he said, we build the products that we like to use ourselves. I like things that are easy to use. They're easy to navigate. So I thought, if I'm a trucker, how do you divide this up, right? Now, I could put as many buttons on here as you want, but I thought, what do you need? I need stuff related to my truck and my health and my business. And then once I'm there, once I've got a business and I've got my truck taken care of and my health, what do I do? Well, what are the things that I do every day? So in my day, what are some of the stuff, if I'm a trucker, that I'm going to be doing? We put them in. You want to plan your route and your weather. Are you looking for route weight restrictions? Do you have to do your pre or post-trip trucker trailer inspection? So we put that in. That's something you do every day. Now I'm up and running. Now that I've got my day started and I'm out there running, like at the section called Truck On, right? So what do you do to Truck On? I'm looking for a travel center or a truck and trailer parking or a hotel, roadside assistance, truck maintenance, and I just put them in those places. And then when all else fails, I'm sitting here now and I just want to learn and do that. I go to the toolbox. So we have a section that we just launched, and for certain providers and services, it's called My Concierge, that for those vendors, Jimmy, that give us or supplier a code, they can actually put it in there. When they push the button, it sends an email to that particular entity, and they can pick up the email, and the trucker's then talking live audio, video through our proprietary technology in the app. And it's like the great help desk. And we're building that out with different services. So it will be there as a use, not just chat, not make a phone call, but push a button, audio, video, and you're able to have somebody there for certain types of services we're launching. So as you say, it has to be easy. So what are you trying to do? Is it my truck or my health or my day or trucking on? Do I want to learn? Just click on the icon, go to that section, and find the item or the area that you want to learn more about or view. It's there. It's that easy. So easy to navigate.
Well, again, I think we're sort of beating a dead horse, so to speak, but because it's worth reiterating that this is literally your one-stop shop. So I'm curious where this is going. Like, is there anything, not to say necessarily point out a weakness, but is there anything you don't do besides drive the truck? Like, what is it that, or I guess the real question would be, who else do you kind of work with to balance out what you guys do? Or is the driver who you work with specifically?
We work with I would say the driver or owner operator, depending which vernacular we want to use. We work with the companies and the fleets, and we work with the organizations and that are here supporting the industry. So it's really different. Okay. I'll give you an idea. Like I just said, I talked about the truck on portion, and then I segued over to what we call the live concierge. Now, we built this with an eye toward servicing the trucker and the trucker's needs. Well, now I have some of the fleets and companies coming in and saying, wait a minute, Keith, we really have no way to communicate with our drivers other than they pick up the phone and they call a dispatcher. You mean to tell me that we could communicate with our drivers through the app? I go, well, I hadn't planned that, but theoretically, if we had Jimmy Mac's trucking, yeah, I could put JMac as a code in there, and when they hit the code, it goes an email to you, and you could talk to your drivers through the app. Well, what would it take to do that? So we're starting to look at things that, as it evolves, may not have been the target, but it's now helping solve issues and other things that are in the industry that it wasn't the initial goal. The goal was to give these tools to the trucker to keep them on the road and make them productive and make them effective and efficient running a business. And now it's really becoming a more of a solution for various problems or solution or situations in the industry. So as it evolves, it'll go wherever it needs to go. If there's an effective and efficient way to deal with a problem or an issue that's in the industry, we'll take a look at it.
Keith, we're gonna run out of time here, but I wanted to make sure you're at Women in Trucking, where we've all gotten a chance to talk on many occasions. You know that we're in the midst of our own startup over here with a legacy brand, so we're not doing as much travel these days as we kind of amp up for the next phase of our great travel adventure. How is Women in Trucking going? And then I want to give you a moment to tell people, in your own words, how they can get the Truck On app. So tell us a little bit about Women in Trucking, and then let us know how we can get the app.
Women in Trucking is as good as it's ever been. You look at it. Well, I will tell you, it's myself included, a little bit of difficulty traveling what's going on in the country, but Jimmy, we'll leave that for another day. The show's a great show. This is one of the most dedicated and active groups that you'll have. For those of us that have been to a lot of trade shows, they show up early, they participate, and they're really this group really looks at how to bring solutions and empower the trucker. And a lot of folks that are women in trucking that think, well, it's really just solely about, women's issues in trucking. And while that's the focus of the group, they're really dealing with issues that are across trucking as a whole. And I'll give you an example. The concept I had for really doing the truck and trailer parking at hotels and all that came out of being at the conference last year, where I had, female drivers coming up saying, Keith, this is a real issue for us. We need a solution. How do we aggregate this? So it's as good as ever. The attendance is great. The participation is great. And for those that haven't been here, you should definitely check it out next year.
Definitely. I was just going to say one thing that I know, Keith, I don't know if you notice this. I always feel like when we go to Women in Trucking, there's different kinds of conversations going on. There's very thoughtful conversations going on. And you could, listen, I'm not going to say you could tell it's led by women, but it's just different conversations going on. But I love what's happening there, why I bring it up. And then also what you're doing, Keith, with Truck On is the whole thing. Actually, I had a meeting yesterday, and this was the same idea again. It's like, go to the trucker, go to the driver, find out what they need. Ask them what they need, not necessarily the people behind desks trying to figure out what they need. Just ask them what they need. They will tell you, and they want to tell you, and that's what you're doing. So praise be to you for that. And tell everybody where they can get the app.
Well, they can get the app. The app is in both the App Store and the Play Store. It's, Truck On powered by BizTech, and download it and feel free to Give us feedback, give us comments, what you like, what you'd like to see added. It's continually evolving, and it really belongs to the community, not to us. We're just the ones that brought it there.
Keith, we're going to be talking to you more and more. A lot of promotion going on here. We want people to find out how they can turn their office, their phone into a mobile office as well. And we want people listening to RadioNemo.com. We can't thank you enough, my friend. Enjoy the rest of the conference. We will see you sooner rather than later. Thank you, Keith.